Yeah, I have a Hannah Montana guitar. What of it? Don't tell me you haven't always wanted one of these. Still has the box. This is actually made by Washburn, and I'm told that it's actually playable. These came in acoustic and small scale electric sometime around 2009. The reviews I've read say they're fun to play. New, I think they retailed for about $150. That's US. I haven't even opened it yet, so I don't know if Miley's picture's on the front or whatever. So let's check it out. Alright, looking at the box, we see it's made by Disney. Acoustic guitar, designed to fit emerging stars. And Hannah Montana, of course. Genuine Washburn, quality since 1883. I didn't know that, 1883. We'll look into that. Anyway, I don't know if this has a picture of Miley on the front. But I did notice this when I was carrying it in. It's got Toys R Us price tag sticker on it. That's pretty cool. What's it say on the back here? 3/4 sized guitar for smaller hands. Chrome covered tuners. Rosewood fingerboard. Basswood body. Hannah Montana themed graphics. Rosewood bridge. So I guess that's what it looks like. No Hannah Montana on there, although I think that these are lyrics or something. We'll see. So, anyway, let's open it up and see what it looks like. Alright, let's open the box, see what it looks like. There you go. It's a little dusty. Fretboard is pretty dry. And it's very light. Appears to be made out of wood, I guess. Here, let me get the box out of here, and we'll have a closer look at it. Alright, there it is. A little oxidized and dusty up at this end. A little dry on the fretboard. Could use a cleaning. Some new strings, they're pretty rusty and oxidized too. The one thing I'm noticing off the bat is these fret ends on both sides are razor sharp. Like, you can see my thumb here. It's all scratched up from rubbing on the side there. I can't believe they let that out for a kid. So that's going to have to be addressed. That's the only flaw I can see in it so far. So I'll take the strings off, clean it up, tell you a little bit about Washburn history, what I learned. It's not actually from 1883 till current, but we'll tell you all about that. These are the product details I found while looking up this guitar. The Washburn Hannah Montana acoustic guitar gets your young guitar started in the right direction with incredible styling, great sound, and a comfortable size. Disney has partnered with renowned guitar maker Washburn to bring you the Hannah Montana acoustic guitar, a 3/4 scale instrument, combining the fantasy of the show with the reality of a quality-made beginner's guitar. Featuring a select hardwood body with a comfortable shape and size, perfect for a young girl, quality tuners, and a great pop star look, including star-shaped fretboard inlays, the Hannah Montana acoustic guitar is ready to play. The guitar was inspired by Disney Channel's American Emmy Award-nominated show Hannah Montana, starring Miley Cyrus and her real-life dad, Billy Ray Cyrus. The story is about 14-year-old Miley Stewart, who lives a double life as a schoolgirl by day and teen pop sensation Hannah Montana by night. Okay. Alright, there's most of the grossness out of it. The fretboard is super, super dry. I think I want to moisturize this first and let it sit for a little bit, and then I'll address the frets. And then I'll probably re-oil after that. For that, I'm going to use some Howard Feed Wax. This has all the vitamin, nutrients, and bee vomit your fretboard needs. I'll put a little dab on each fret. And I'm going to rub that in. I'm going to let it sit for maybe 20 minutes. And then come back and do my frets, and then after I'm done with the frets, I'll re-moisturize this. Alright, that looks way better. Soaked all that in. These are so sharp, it's cutting my rags. I'm not going to do a fret leveling on this, because, come on. But I am going to try to take down these ends a little bit. That's wild. Use a little bit of tape on the edge of the binding there to make sure that I'm not going to take off any of the finish. It's wild. That's like not even safe for like an adult or a child to play. Alright, I got it taped up to protect the finish. I'm going to use a series of files to file in a downward direction. I get a heavy, a medium, and then I have my crowner. And I don't want to pull them up, so I want to file in a downward direction, not pulling backwards. When I get down here, I'm probably going to have to change my trajectory a little bit to kind of get that, but I don't know. It'll be better than it is. So Washburn began as a company called Lyon and Healy, and that was in 1864, and it was a partnership between George W. Lyon and Patrick J. Healy, and they were the acting Chicago outlet for Boston sheet music publisher Oliver Ditson and Company. By 1865, Lyon and Healy had expanded into reed organs and some small instruments. The company achieved independence by 1880, and around 1888 the company launched fully into fretted and plucked instruments, and that was under the George Washburn brand, which was Lyon's first and middle name. Lyon and Healy's 1898 catalog listed 28 different styles of Washburn guitars, ranging from $15 to $145. In 1912, Washburn introduced the Lakeside Jumbo guitar, which some consider the first dreadnought-sized guitar. It bridged the gap between smaller-bodied parlor guitars of the late 19th and early 20th century and modern-day dreadnought and jumbo acoustic guitars. George Lyon retired from the company in 1889, and he died in 1894. Patrick Healy then led the company into a period of major expansion, beginning with a larger new factory and improved mass production techniques, and it soon dominated the domestic market. Their 1892 catalog claimed to manufacture 100,000 instruments annually. Healy died in 1905. By the 1920s, Lyon and Healy faced growing competition from other instrument manufacturers, as well as from the rise of other forms of entertainment, particularly film and the gramophone. Lyon and Healy gradually shifted manufacturing chores onto wholesaler Tonk Brothers, to whom they sold the guitar portion of the business in 1928, continuing to produce their own line of harps, pianos, and organs. Tonk Brothers turned to manufacturer J.R. Stewart Company to purchase and operate the massive factory, but this transition proved problematic and Stewart went bankrupt in 1930. Some of the Stewart assets were acquired by Regal Musical Instrument Company, which had purchased the Regal brand name in 1908 from Lyon and Healy, who acquired it in 1905. Regal was chosen to reopen the Washburn factory, producing Regal instruments as well. Though the Washburn brand was preserved, it never regained its preeminence, and by the early 1940s had declined to nothing. Alright, I picked up some extra light strings for this one. These are Henry strings, acoustic bronze. Figured I'd give them a try. They were $9.44, so that should be a nice light string for this guitar. I mean, it is made of wood, but who knows how strong it is. I don't want the thing to collapse on itself, and I think it'll make it more comfortable for smaller hands. Oh, look, what's this? Picks. Is that with picks? Oh yeah, look at that. We got a .073. It's called a Rock Star. The Metal Star is a 1 mil. And what's this one? Folk Star, 0.5 mil. Ah, those feel nice. Almost like a Tortex, but they're black. An unbroken lineage is often alluded to by Washburn International in press releases, advertising materials, and on the company website. They say they've been around for 130 years. However, there's no direct connection between the original Washburn brand and the modern Washburn International. In the 1960s, Rudolf Rudy Schlacker, a young German violin builder, opened up the Sound Post in Evanston, Illinois, to focus on guitars. And he needed something that kind of had a high end, but at a modest cost. Bring in Tom Beckman and his wife Judy Fink in 1972. They left their careers as music salesmen and teachers to launch a wholesale music business in LA. It was called Beckman Musical Instruments. It was Beckman Music that resurrected the Washburn name, and in 1974 applied it to a series of quality imported acoustic guitars made in Japan, as well as a selection of mandolins and banjos. So then Schlacker and two partners, working as Fretted Industries Inc., acquired the Washburn name in 1977 for $13,000, and the Beckmans took their business in a different direction. So the Washburn name was returned to Chicago. With some assistance from the founder of Roland, Schlacker was able to find instrument factories in Japan that can meet the desired standards. Fretted Industries also acquired other lines such as Oscar Schmidt auto harps. Schlacker bought out his partners in 1987 and changed the company name to Washburn International. A stateside manufacturing operation was opened in '91 for higher-end, short-run, one-off instruments and prototypes. In December of 2002, Washburn International announced that it had completed acquisition of U.S. Music Corporation and would be rolling its assets into that company in a reverse merger. In 2009, Schlacker announced the completion of selling USM to Jam Industries, and that he would be stepping away from his company after a full 4 decades. These strings are terrible. Don't ever buy these. Color was all messed up. I had to use my micrometer to make sure I was putting them in the right spot. Yeah, those are bad. Would have been better off with a set of GHS boomers. I bought them because it was supposed to have a wound G string, and that was a lie. The tone on this thing is terrible. It's real comfy up here. It's definitely playable, especially with the fret ends filed down. I think if you gave this to a kid with a mild passing interest in guitar, I think they could pick up a couple things with it. It just doesn't sound that great. But this gets somebody to the next level, I think. So, yeah. I can buy myself flowers, write my name in the sand, talk to myself for hours, say things you don't understand. I can take myself dancing, yeah, I can hold my own hand, yeah, I can love me better than you can. I can love me better, baby, can love me better, I can love me better, baby, love me better, I can love me better, baby, can love me better, I can love me better. Yeah, enough of that. So there you go, a Hannah Montana guitar. You know, I like Miley Cyrus. I wouldn't buy an album, but I dig watching her perform. Just the right touch cray-cray. So I want to thank you for joining me. Give me a thumbs up for filming it for you, and we'll talk again soon.